So, y'all, the holidays is quickly approaching, but before you go start swiping that credit card for that Black Friday shopping, we want to take a look at our credit and see, well, is your credit ready for all that holiday shopping you're going to be doing? So, in this video, I want to talk about how can we prepare for the holiday shopping and not go into credit card debt or pay interest this holiday season. Let's get into it. So, y'all, them holidays is coming up real soon. November is right around the corner. So I had put a poll on my community tab asking, when do you start your holiday shopping? And most people said that they start their holiday shopping around Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And so, y'all, I'm really excited about holiday shopping because this year I said I'm going to be getting me a washing and dryer because in my last video, I was talking about how I had earned $1,125 in checking account bonuses. So I'm going to be using my checking account bonuses for a washing and dryer. But even though I'm going to be getting that checking account bonus, I still might have to put a little bit extra on it. So I want to make sure my credit cards are ready for this holiday shopping I'm about to get into. So the first and easiest way for us to not go into holiday debt is by creating a budget for us for our holiday shopping and making sure that we pay it off. But you already know, with us being in $1.7 trillion in credit card debt, it ain't gonna work that easy. So I want to give a couple of other tips on how we can do this. The second way for us to not go into credit card debt or pay interest on our credit cards is, how about getting one of those 0% interest credit cards? Y'all, they got a couple of them out there to where you can go from 12 to 21 months of no interest for all of that time. Now, the thing is, we want to make sure that we're not going too crazy because we want to make a plan for that. So really, in all, we want to really start off with a budget to see how much money we have coming in compared to going out, how much we have left over. And then we really want to take a look to see, well, how much debt do we even have right now anyway? Because we don't want to be packing on extra debt on top of debt that we already got going on. So how can we get that settled before we start with that holiday shopping? Now, the next way is my favorite way, and that's going to be paying our credit cards in a way to where either we're not paying interest or we are reporting a balance, but we're not going over 30%. Because if we're trying to increase our credit score fast, we want to make sure that we are not having high credit card utilization, because our credit is broken down into 5 components. So we have our payment history, our credit card utilization, our length of credit, our new credit, and our credit mix. But if we want to increase our credit score fast, we really want to tackle our credit card utilization. And it states, if you go onto the Experience site, that we want to be 30% or less. But if we want to be high achievers, we want to be 7% or less. So that's a good way to look at it. And so you can look at it, the best way to look at it is by our overall credit card utilization. But I like to look at my overall credit card utilization along with my individual credit cards. So one, we want to create an amount that we're going to spend for this holiday season. We want to create that budget. So I'm going to spend $1,000 for the holiday season, but you put your number in. I don't know if I'm gonna be spending $1,000, but that's what I came up with. Then could we possibly use 1 to 2 credit cards so we're not going too crazy and putting it on a whole lot of credit cards? But for me right now, I'm only really using 1 credit card, and that's going to be my Citi Platinum American Airlines credit card. And really, I'm just putting all my spend, between 85 and 90% of my spend is going on that credit card. And so this strategy that I'm going to discuss is really the strategy that I use all of the time. So once you start using that credit card, you want to have 2 things that you're going to be taking a look at. So 1, you want to get your due date, and then 2, you want to get your statement date. So your due date is going to be, when is your balance due, so that you're not paying any late payments, because we don't want no late payments on this, because we don't want to get no late payment, because that's 35% of our credit. And once you get that late payment on there, it's a wrap. And then number two, we want to figure out, well, what's our statement date? Because our statement date is going to be, when is our creditor going to be reporting to the credit bureau? And that's very important because for me, I do like to report to the credit bureau, but I don't like to pay interest on my credit card because y'all, you know, with that credit card interest being 26 and 29 and 30%, that just ain't going to work. So we don't want to be paying no interest on our credit cards. So once we get our statement date and our due date, we want to take a look at our actual statement and see what's on there. How is it reporting? So we're going to take a look at my city statement. So when you take a look at my city statement, and this one is going to be my most recent one. So when you take a look, my due date is October the 27th. So at my due date, at the due date, I really want to make sure that I'm making the minimum payment due so that I'm not late and I'm not going to get any late charges on the account. Now, what I do is I'll pay it down to the statement balance, or I'll figure out what is my ideal credit card utilization that I want to report to the credit bureau. Because I think it's important to report to the credit bureau so you can show usage, especially if you're going to be opening up a credit card with the same bank. And sometimes if you're not reporting any utilization, then they can say, and that's what they did to me with my Chase Sapphire Preferred credit card. They actually denied me because I had two other Chase credit cards. And they said that they had really kind of denied me because they said I had low usage on the other two credit cards. So that's why I like to report utilization so that if I'm trying to get a credit card, and plus I don't want to have no usage and then they close the card. And that happened to me too with Bank of America. So you can see on October 6th, I made a payment. It satisfied my due date because I went ahead and made the payment, even though my due date is October the 27th. By me go ahead and making a payment, I'm good to go. But I really want to make sure that I pay off that remaining statement balance, because if I don't pay off that remaining statement balance, even though my balance is larger than that amount, then I'll have to pay interest on that $793. So what I have already done, I went ahead and paid off the statement balance. And by me paying off that statement balance, I will not have to pay interest, even though I still have a balance on a credit card. By me paying off that statement balance, I don't have to pay interest. But the thing is, as long as I paid it off and I'm not showing any amount due on my statement balance, then I'm good to go. And so that's how I make sure that I'm not paying any interest. Now, most of the time I can just pay the credit card off. And that's the thing. You can just pay the credit card off. But on the one hand, let's say you got money that you need to do something else with or do something, you can just do it this way to where you never late on any of your bills. Because for me, I pay all of my bills pretty much by the 15th. Because the other day I was talking to one of my friends and I'm just like, I get very excited about credit. And it's just like, on the one hand, we should never not be able to pay a bill, because most of our bills we can pay with our credit cards. And then if you pay it in a way and you understand your due date and your statement date, then you really never have to pay interest on a credit card, even if you have a balance on a credit card. And then I'm just like, now they have credit cards to where if you live in an apartment, you can use that credit card to pay your rent and stuff, like with the built credit card, if your apartment accepts that credit card. And so if I could do that, I would have all my bills paid by the first to where I wouldn't even have to worry about it. And so I'm just like, man, credit is just so interesting. And I just really enjoy learning about credit. And it's just so many different things, tests and all that kind of stuff that you can do with credit. So you'll have to check this out and let me know if you're going to be using this strategy to not pay interest or go into debt for the holiday season. Because really, I want to do hashtag no debt or no paying interest for the holiday season. And so I was reading an article and it said for 2024, from November 1st to December 31st, It took 21% of people to pay off their credit card debt in 5 months. So the thing is, we don't want to be paying no interest on credit cards, especially with interest being 26 to 30%. But then two, we don't want to be going into debt buying stuff that one is anybody gonna even remember anyway, and it's gonna be broke. So I think it's a great idea to create a plan for holiday spend so that we don't go too crazy. So let me know in the comments, are you going to try this strategy? And are you going to be hashtag no debt for holiday 2025 and no interest for holiday 2025? So let me know what you think in the comments. I hope that you're going to join this challenge, but I hope that you found this video helpful. Please like, subscribe, share with a friend, and turn your notification bell on so you'll be notified when new content drops. I thank you so much for watching. Until next time, y'all, we want to make sure that we got our finances in order for 2026. And so you'll have to go and check out my digital budget planner on my Etsy shop. Y'all, I'm very excited about it. You have your monthly budget, you have your debt repayment and your debt tracker. I'm very excited. I added a bingo savings planner to where you can put a few other things that you're trying to do. Possibly you're trying to save 1,000 or 5 or 10,000. So you can put that in there. Maybe you want to get you a high yield savings, possibly open up a Roth IRA. So you can put your savings goal in the boxes and just mark them off as you complete it. But then also you can always go over to my website and get my free budget and debt repayment template. And I even added the bingo savings for that as well. So you can drop down in the description and go over to my website or my Etsy shop. It's not a game.